I don't think the performance was my best of the week, but sometimes you just got to find a way to win, and I think that was one of those matches where I did just that. And when you're in a final, you just want to get over the line, and obviously I did that today, so really happy with that performance.
All that counts is the W.
Exactly.
And that's what you got.
Man.
Well, congratulations. Gemma, do you want to start?
Yeah, I was going to say, that was a tough match against Gordon, actually. He was finding ways to frustrate you. You were finding ways to frustrate him. It was a proper game of chess out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I came to expect from him. So we know each other's games really well from the doubles court, so we always have to be adaptive and ready to change in the moment, because any player can do anything on the court. The skill set's quite varied from both of us, and today I think I managed to just do enough on my service games to consistently win those, and that was probably the difference really in the end, was just a few more first serves in crucial moments, and I think a few double faults crept in, especially in his service games later on in the second set. So that was pretty much the difference, I think, in the match. But yeah, overall it was a fun but sometimes frustrating game of tennis.
I was going to say, there was one moment, you show your emotions on court. We see when you're frustrated, Alfie. We can't help but see it. But there was one moment on court where you could really see your frustration, and that's when you got yourself your first championship point and you let it slip. And then it felt like you then did the Alfie Hewett thing of, I'm going to be mad at myself, and then I'm going to use that madness to kind of power me through the next game.
Yeah, I felt like I was in control of that game, and then obviously got a championship point and didn't make a good decision on that. And then the next 3 points, Gordon served well, and next minute you 5-3. And if there's one thing about Gordon, is that he never gives up. So when you have that opportunity, you sort of kick yourself a little bit when it goes begging. But then I can be happy with the way I responded. I think that's a big thing that I'm trying to work on in my game right now, is it's okay to be emotional out there and show your reactions as long as it doesn't negatively impact you. It's how you bounce back the next point and reset, and I did that really well, and I think I won the game to love in the end. So yeah, it showed some good mentality and good confidence.
And for you, there's been a lot of wheelchair tennis on Louis Armstrong this year, hasn't there? A lot of it. They've proper bumped up the schedule. I mean, has that really been a really good thing for you? I mean, obviously it wasn't the crowds that you had at Wimbledon, but you playing on those big stages now, and even Dannon and Joshua John yesterday.
It's really good, and it's not just about the men's, it's about the women's, the quads, the juniors, and the sport getting its recognition. And if there's an availability or available slot on that court, it's like, why not put them on? Why not put our matches on there? It's a great opportunity to broadcast it, and the more that it's picking up, and the more that other tournaments and slams realise there is an interest. Okay, it's not packing out Louis Armstrong or anything like that, but it's still a good interest that people may not watch or may have not seen wheelchair tennis before. Some might come back for it. You never know out there who's really watching. And just from the socials that I obviously oversee, it's always positive, and it's always a good reaction whenever these matches get put on show courts. And as players, it's an absolute dream. Like, it's amazing someone like a junior can sit there and dream that they can play on Louis Armstrong, court number 1, all these iconic stadiums in tennis. We can play on them, and that just shows how good wheelchair tennis is leading the way in terms of disability sport.
And 4 US Open singles titles now. You get to keep this one for 2 years, don't you? Because there's no US Open wheelchair tennis next year.
Yeah, exactly. I'll swap it for a gold medal there. Any day. No, obviously it means a lot to win 4. Grand Slam's the pinnacle of the year, and it's the last one, so part of me would have been, I say a bit part of me, all of me would have been very upset if I came runner-up again today. 3 on the bounce would have been a tough one to take, but now it's 50% win ratio in terms of slams this year, which is a very, very good ratio to have, and that was my goal this year, was to win 2 slams, because I've been going at 1 a year at this current rate, but I wanted to become a little bit more dominant, and to make finals in all slams is not easy to do. So credit to my team and the prep work that goes into it, and the whole year.
We have a question in the back.
I'm wondering if you've experienced any changes in your life or in your tennis or in your team since the last time you came to New York for the US Open?
No, not really. No, I've been settled for a while now, and I think that was a big thing. Classification at the end of 21 finally gave me that opportunity to settle and think about the future. And then onwards, it was like, okay, who do I want in my team around me? Where do I want to be based? Where do I want to live? Where do I want to get my enjoyment from, away from tennis? Because that's also a big part of it. I want to be around family. I was very lucky enough to meet a lovely girlfriend from my home as well, and thankfully she stayed around as well. So, all of those things, they do make a massive contribution, because the tennis player's life is very hectic and chaotic. You're going from city to city and trainings all over the place, and trying to find a good balance away from the tennis court is so important. And right now, I'm dedicating a lot to the sport. I'm training away from home half the week, but then making sure that I don't lose my mind and go crazy and spend some time with friends and girlfriend and family at home. So, yeah, I think I'm getting a lot of things right at the moment, and long may it continue, hopefully.
Where's home and where's training? What city?
So I'm from Norwich, which is east of England. So that's family. I grew up there and did a lot of my training there. And then I moved to London to train at the National Tennis Centre. So that's where Craig Allen, my coach, is there. And then I have a coach, Ben Collingwood, back at home. So it's important for me to have home life, because there was a time where I moved to London full time and it was just a bit too much for me. You learn about yourself and what you need, and I wasn't particularly happy, so I chose to go split and go more 50-50. It's a lot of travelling, but once I beat the traffic, it's all right.
Okay. Did you have a question? No. No. David Slater.
Congratulations, Alfie. Would like to ask you that we're going to see on the men's singles that is always a different champion in more than a decade, but you are defend your title, and the US Open is your best slam. So there is any specialty why you are so successful at the US Open?
Yeah, good question. I wish I knew all of the ingredients about it, but I think just the surface plays a massive part of it. From day one, since I've been in the grounds, I've always enjoyed it. When I look at my game, I hit with a lot of spin. I'm very aggressive with my movement. I try and hold the baseline a lot, and even when I'm in defence, I like to rip it and transition up the court to then attack, which on a clay court, on a hard court, clay court, on a grass court, is not as easy to do, and it becomes more about the first 4 balls, whereas on a hard court, it's a lot more complex, a lot more tactical. I think the bounce is what I'm used to. I train on hard courts back at home. So that's probably a big reason as to why I do that. And then I think the other part of it is the psychological aspect of coming to an event where you feel at home, you feel happy, you feel like you can do it again because you've done it before. And when you've done something like win a Grand Slam once, the next time you're there, you have that belief. There's no guarantee that you will do it, but you know the feeling, and it is just a feeling. It's very difficult to be able to put your finger on it, but it's a feeling like, okay, I can do well here, and you feel confident, and you tell yourself that anything is possible here. And right now, I'm just on this wave at US Open where I'm loving it, I'm enjoying it, my game is really effective on it. But, there will become a point where I don't win, and I've got to enjoy these moments because the game is going to get a lot strong. Well, the game is already strong, so I'm having to keep on my toes. But I'm trying to take that mentality that I have here into other slams because, Wimbledon, elephant in the room, it's not happened before. So I try and learn from these events, even though I just want to enjoy it right now. It's actually dissecting it. Like, what is it that's working so effectively, and taking that into the next tournament and the next slam. And I think that is why this year has probably been the most successful year for me. I've made 4 Grand Slam finals, won 2 of them. I think there's only 3 events that I've played that I haven't made a singles final. Those stats are quite good. But that's because I'm very keen on learning and developing.